Hi, everyone. I'm Jack, and welcome to our show today.
I'm Elena.
It's great to have you here, Elena.
Thanks for having me.
So today we're talking about laziness.
We all feel it sometimes, right?
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to look at some ideas about laziness from productivity experts and psychologists.
Sounds good.
We might even hear some stories about people who put things off a lot.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, well, we've all had that feeling, right, where we just want to put things off.
Yeah.
Like maybe you plan to go for a run in the morning, but then
Mm.
you hit the snooze button a few times, and then, oh, it's time to get ready for work.
Yeah, I think we've all been there.
Yeah,
It's easy to just want to relax and not do anything.
right.
But I think it's important to remember that laziness is usually a symptom of something else.
Oh,
It's not the root cause.
So you're saying it's not just me being like a slacker?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
There are lots of reasons why you might be feeling lazy.
Okay.
Maybe you're physically tired,
Yeah, sometimes I'm just worn out.
or maybe you're feeling overwhelmed.
That makes sense. When I have a lot to do, it's hard to know where to even begin.
Right. And sometimes it can even be something deeper. Like maybe you're afraid of failing or you're anxious about something.
Okay.
All of these things can make you feel lazy.
So how do we figure out what's going on? How do
Yeah.
we know why we're feeling lazy?
Psychologists have actually identified 8 different categories of laziness.
Wow, 8.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And if we understand these categories, we can start to understand what's really going on.
Okay, so tell us about these categories.
The first one is simple. It's fatigue.
Okay.
You just don't have the energy.
Yeah, sometimes I'm just plain tired.
Exactly. Then there's regret.
Regret.
You feel like you've missed out on something,
Uh-huh.
and that can make you not want to do anything else.
I know that feeling like when you miss a deadline and it's hard to get back on track.
Yeah, exactly. Then there's internal shame.
Internal shame.
This is when you beat yourself up for not being productive.
I've definitely been there. It's like a negative spiral.
It is. And then there's social fear.
Social fear. What's that?
This is when you're afraid of looking silly if you try something new and you fail.
Okay.
So you just avoid doing anything at all.
I can see how that would hold people back.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have fatigue, regret,
Uh-huh.
internal shame, and social fear.
Right. Wait,
What are the other 4 categories?
Well, there's neuroticism.
Neuroticism.
This is basically anxiety about new challenges.
So you get so worried about doing something new that you end up doing nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Then there's
Okay.
uncertainty.
Okay.
That's when you get stuck because a task seems too complicated or you don't know how to start.
Oh, I know that feeling. I just stare at a project and have no idea where to begin.
Then there's apathy.
Apathy.
This is when you just don't care enough to do anything.
Yeah, I've definitely felt that way about certain projects.
And finally, there's self-definition.
Self-definition.
This is when you see yourself as a lazy person.
Yep.
And the more you think of yourself that way, the more likely you are to act that way.
So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly. It becomes part of who you think you are, and you start to make choices that reinforce that belief.
Wow, this is really helpful. I'm starting to understand this a lot better.
Yeah.
But, knowing what type of laziness you are doesn't magically make it disappear.
Right? You're right, it doesn't. But understanding the problem is the first step to fixing it.
Okay.
You see, we often think that some people are just born lazy.
Yeah, like it's just part of their personality.
But that's rarely true. Most people are capable of being productive.
Okay.
They just have different obstacles.
So it's like when I keep saying I'm going to go running tomorrow,
Uh-huh.
but then I hit that snooze button every time.
Yeah.
Does that mean I'm a lazy person?
No, not at all. It could just mean you need more self-control.
Okay.
Or maybe you haven't set clear goals.
Those obstacles, those are the things that are holding us back, but we just call it laziness.
That's a great way to put it. And once you can identify those obstacles, you can start to address them.
Okay, I'm starting to see the light here, but how do we actually do that?
Right.
Like, what are some practical things we could do to get over those obstacles and start getting things done?
One of the most effective strategies is to start small.
Small.
Instead of looking at the whole task,
Yeah.
break it down into smaller, manageable chunks.
Like climbing a mountain one step at a time?
Exactly. Imagine trying to climb a mountain all at once.
Woof.
It would be too much, but if you break it down into individual steps, it suddenly feels a lot easier.
Okay, so instead of thinking about cleaning the whole house, I should just focus on cleaning the kitchen first?
Exactly. And you can make a checklist
Okay.
and check off those small steps as you go.
I like checking things off lists. It makes me feel like I'm making progress.
It does, and that sense of accomplishment can really motivate you.
Yeah.
It encourages you to keep going. Another tip is to set a timer for just 5 minutes.
5 minutes? That doesn't seem like much.
It may not, but you'd be surprised how effective it can be.
Really?
You see, often the hardest part is just getting started.
Uh-huh.
Once you've worked for 5 minutes, you're more likely to keep going.
Interesting.
You break through that initial resistance.
That's a really cool idea. I'm going to try that.
I think you'll be surprised how well it works.
Okay, so we've talked about breaking down tasks into smaller chunks and using the 5-minute timer. Any other tips for getting started?
Another helpful strategy is to make it harder to be lazy.
What do you mean by that?
Think about the things that distract you.
Like my phone.
Exactly, or social media, or the TV.
Mm-hmm.
Make it harder to get to those things.
So like put my phone in another room.
Yes. You can also do the opposite.
What do you mean?
Make it easier to do the things you want to do.
Okay.
Let's say you want to start exercising in the morning.
Good.
Lay out your workout clothes the night before so you're ready to go when you wake up.
Oh, that's a good idea. So I'm less likely to make excuses.
Exactly. It's all about setting yourself up for success.
I like that.
And understanding that willpower is limited.
Willpower is limited.
We need to make things easier on ourselves.
Okay, this is all really helpful. But what about motivation?
Yeah.
Like, how do we stay motivated when we have to do those tasks that we just don't want to do?
That's a great question, and it's something we're going to explore more in the next part of our show.
Okay, sounds good.
Welcome back, everyone.
It's great to be back for part 2.
Yeah,
In the last part, we talked about all those surprising reasons why we feel lazy.
we did.
And, we looked at some ways to just make it easier to get started on things.
Right. Even when we don't really feel like it.
Yeah. But what about those times when we just don't feel motivated at all?
Yeah.
How do we deal with that?
Well, one of the best ways to stay motivated is to connect personally to the work you need to do.
Connect personally.
Yeah, like connect it to your long-term goals,
Yeah,
the
like-
things that are important to you.
So instead of just seeing it as a chore
Yeah.
I have to
Yeah.
do, I should think about why it matters in the bigger picture.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
Like if you need to study for a test, don't just think about the test.
Okay.
Think about why you're going to school, what you want to achieve with your education.
Thinking about the bigger picture could make those smaller steps feel more meaningful.
Exactly. And sometimes it can be helpful to think about the consequences of not doing something.
Oh, yeah. For me, I find that thinking about the consequences can be a really strong motivator.
Uh-huh.
Like if I don't do this work now, it's just going to pile up and create more stress later.
Right. We all respond to different things.
Yeah.
The key is to find what works for you.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the lazy work exchange?
Lazy work exchange. Sounds kind of interesting.
It's a system where you earn downtime by completing work time.
Okay.
So let's say you want to watch an episode of your favorite show.
Something I want to do often. Yes.
Okay, so instead of just watching it,
Uh-huh.
you earn that time by doing an equal amount of work first.
So 30 minutes of work equals 30 minutes of TV time.
Oh, I like that.
It's a way to change your mindset and make laziness work for you.
Like I'm tricking myself into being productive.
And what's great is that it makes your downtime more enjoyable
Yeah.
because you don't have that guilt nagging at you.
That's so true. When I'm procrastinating, I can never really relax.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking about the things I should be doing.
But if you earn your downtime, you can really enjoy it.
Okay.
But even with the best intentions, we sometimes fall into that lazy trap.
Yeah.
You know those times when you just think, I don't feel like doing anything?
Oh, absolutely. And sometimes that just do it advice feels too simple.
Yeah.
There has to be a better way.
There is. Have you ever heard of perceptual positioning?
Perceptual positioning? I don't think so.
It's a way of detaching yourself emotionally from the task at hand
Okay.
and just observing yourself as if you were watching someone else.
So like watching someone play a video game
Uh-huh.
and seeing how they approach a problem.
Exactly. Imagine watching someone play a really difficult game.
Yeah. They don't get overwhelmed by their emotions.
Oh, yeah.
They think about their strategy. They try different things. They
Right.
keep practicing until they succeed.
And we can apply that same mindset to our own work.
Yes. Instead of getting caught up in feeling lazy, just try to observe that feeling
Okay.
without judgment.
So instead of saying, I'm so lazy,
You could say, I'm noticing that I'm feeling lazy right now, but I know I can do this.
you're shifting your identity.
Right. You're separating yourself from the emotion.
That's a subtle but really powerful shift in thinking.
It can help you break free from that cycle of procrastination and self-criticism.
This is so insightful. I'm learning so much.
I'm glad to hear it.
But let's be honest, sometimes it feels like a constant battle against laziness, like a cycle you can't escape.
Yeah, it can be frustrating to feel stuck.
It can.
And this brings us back to something we talked about earlier,
What's that?
the importance of healthy habits.
Oh, okay. So things like eating right, getting enough sleep, exercising.
All of those things.
Yeah.
They give you the foundation for energy and motivation.
Okay.
You can't expect to feel motivated if you're exhausted or you're not eating well.
I am definitely guilty of not getting enough sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the king of hitting that snooze button.
And you know what? Sometimes that need to hit snooze is your body telling you that you need more rest.
Okay.
It's important to listen to your body.
So sometimes laziness is actually a sign that we're not taking care of ourselves.
Exactly. It's all about balance.
Balance.
Pushing yourself, but also giving yourself the rest and care that you need.
Welcome back, everyone.
It's great to be back.
It's great to have you here for the last part of our show.
Yeah.
We've been talking about all those things that can make us feel lazy.
Yeah, we have.
And we've looked at so many different ways to overcome those feelings and start being more productive.
We have.
One thing I've been thinking about, though, is, our environment. Like, does our environment affect how productive we are?
Oh, absolutely. Your surroundings can either help you achieve your goals or they can hold you back.
Okay, so then how do we create an environment that helps us be more productive?
Well, first of all, I would say declutter.
Declutter.
Get organized.
Oh,
You know, a clean and organized space can really help you focus.
Yeah, I know when my desk is a mess, I feel stressed and overwhelmed.
Clutter takes up so much mental energy.
It does.
Get rid of things you don't need.
Okay.
Organize the things you do need.
What about things like lighting and temperature? Do those things matter?
They do. Natural light is really the best.
Yeah.
For your energy and your mood, if
Yeah.
you can set up your workspace near a window.
And if you can't be near a window, a good desk lamp can make a big difference.
That's right, and make sure the temperature's comfortable.
Yeah, if you're too hot or too cold, it can be really distracting.
Exactly.
Okay, so creating a comfortable and inviting workspace is important. What else can we do?
Make sure you have all the tools and resources you need.
Tools and resources.
Like, do you have a comfortable chair?
Right.
Do you have all the supplies you need close by?
I find that when I have everything I need, it's much easier to stay focused.
Yes.
I'm not getting up and down all the time to go find things.
Exactly. It eliminates distractions.
Okay.
Another idea, personalize your space.
Personalize. What do you mean by that?
Add some things that inspire you.
Okay.
Maybe a picture of your family
Uh,
or a quote that you love, even a plant,
okay.
just to add some life to the space.
I love that it makes it feel less like, just a boring office.
Right.
And more like a place where I want to be.
Yeah, it should reflect your personality and support your goals.
But even with like the perfect environment, sometimes we struggle with figuring out what to do first.
Yeah.
We have so much to do. How do we decide what's the most important?
Have you ever heard of the Eisenhower matrix?
The Eisenhower matrix? No, I don't think so.
It's a great tool
Okay.
that can help you organize your tasks
Okay.
based on how urgent and important they are.
So it helps us figure out what we need to do immediately and what can maybe wait a little bit.
Exactly. The matrix has 4 sections.
Okay.
The first section
Sure.
is for things that are urgent and important.
Okay. Urgent and important.
Things you need to do right away.
Got it. Like an important deadline.
Right. The second section is for tasks that are important but not urgent.
Important but not urgent.
So things that will help you achieve your long-term goals, but you don't have to do them this second.
Okay, like planning for a future project.
Exactly. The third section is for things that are urgent but not important.
Urgent but not important.
Often these are things that other people want you to do,
Okay.
but they might pull you away from your own priorities.
Like answering emails that aren't really that important.
Right. And then the last section is for tasks that are neither urgent nor important.
Neither urgent nor important.
These are things you should probably just eliminate.
Like scrolling through social media for hours.
Exactly.
Huh.
So if you organize your tasks this way, you can make sure you're focusing on the most important things first.
That's a really helpful tool. I like that.
Good.
Okay. What are some other challenges people face when they're trying to be more productive?
One challenge is perfectionism.
Perfectionism.
Yeah, people try to do everything perfectly and
Yeah.
they end up procrastinating.
Oh, I do that sometimes. I want everything to be just right.
Yeah, but you have to remember, perfection doesn't exist.
Oh, wait.
And it often keeps us from getting things done.
So what should we do instead of trying to be perfect?
Focus on progress, not perfection.
Progress, not perfect.
And remember that it's okay to make mistakes.
Okay.
That's how you learn.
So it's okay to make mistakes as long as we learn from them.
Exactly. Another challenge is fear of failure.
Fear of failure.
Yeah, people avoid doing things because they're afraid of what will happen if they fail.
That fear can be paralyzing.
But failure is a part of growth.
Okay.
It's how we learn and get better.
So we should try to see failure as a learning experience.
Exactly. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. Okay. Even the most successful people have failed many times.
That's encouraging.
And I think one of the biggest challenges is
Yeah.
not believing in yourself.
Yeah, it's hard to stay motivated when you don't think you can do it.
It is, but you are capable of amazing things.
Okay,
Believe in yourself.
so we need to be more positive.
Yeah, and encourage ourselves.
Okay.
When you have negative thoughts, challenge them. Remind yourself what you're good at.
This has been a really great conversation.
I agree.
I feel like I have a much better understanding now of laziness
Good.
and how to overcome it.
I'm glad to hear that.
We've covered so much today.
We have.
All those different reasons why we feel lazy, how to break down those tasks,
Uh-huh.
how to create a supportive environment, how to prioritize things,
Right.
and how to overcome some of the biggest challenges.
And we learned that laziness is often a sign of something else going on.
Right.
And if we understand those underlying issues, we can start to make positive changes.
Yeah, and most importantly, we learned that change is a process.
It is.
It takes time. It takes effort.
Right.
And it's important to be kind to ourselves along the way.
Absolutely. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your progress, and never give up on your goals.
Thank you so much for sharing all of this with us.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you all for listening.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed the show and learned some helpful tips for overcoming laziness and achieving your goals.
Yes.
Until next time, everyone.